everyone. Welcome to Busy Lizzie's Budget. Thank you so much for being here with me today and for choosing to spend your precious time on watching my video. Today's video is going to be all about my dog Ranger. This is going to be an update on his health, and it is also going to be an update on the fundraising that was done for him. I had no idea this was going on or this was going to happen. This was a huge surprise to me. I didn't set out or ask anyone for money, and the fact that my friends did this for me and that people have been sending me money for Ranger just absolutely blows me away. It blows my mind, and I still can't believe that is happening, and I just feel like I owe it to all of you to let you know how much you're appreciated. And I do want to shout out some certain people who have donated who are okay with being shouted out. And also, because you guys are donating toward Ranger's medical bills, I think it's only right that you guys see how much money has come in and things like that. So I'm going to do a video once a week, and I asked my daughter to make a savings challenge, and she did, and it will be in her Etsy shop, or I guess it's my Etsy shop as she gets all the proceeds. So we are going to do a generic one in the Etsy shop where there's no amount here, where you choose your amount in case anyone else wants it, and we might put a different name. But anyway, right now we owe just about $1,000 for Ranger's medical bills. So we're not quite at $10,000, but he still needs to have another test done and he needs to have more visits. And so it'll probably go over $10,000. But for now, I just wanted her to make one with $10,000. So what this will be is a savings challenge where as we get money, we fill in for every $100 we receive, or I am able to put toward it, because Matt and I will absolutely be putting as much money as we can toward this to get this paid off as soon as possible. So anyway, we will be filling in one icon for each $100 we have toward the debt. And my friend Kendra had a great idea. She said, why don't you start at the top and use one color, and everything you color in can be for what was donated toward helping this bill, or donated to help him. And then I will start at the end and go backwards with a different color, and for every $100 that Matt or I put in toward his bills. So then we'll kind of meet up at some point. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. But sadly, you're not going to see me color this in or see how much money was donated in the first week, or the list of people, a huge list of people we're going to thank, until the end of the video. Because what I want to do first is I just want to give you an update on how he is doing. So I'm a little bit nervous about this part because I have nothing written down, and I don't want to make you dizzy moving this paper, so I'll take it away for a second. But let me go ahead and just try to give you an update about how he is doing. So we took him home from the critical care hospital on, I don't even remember what day it was. I believe it was Wednesday morning. And very thankfully, we were able to take him home. We had gone to visit him just about every day, but I know I had posted pictures, and I'm sure you all have seen it, of us pretty much saying goodbye to him one night, and it was Tuesday night. And then or maybe it was Monday night. I'm sorry. It was Monday night. And then Tuesday night, we were told we could take him home. And then they said that we couldn't because he wasn't doing well enough. And then Wednesday, they said we could take him home in the morning. So we did take him home Wednesday morning. But let me just say this, just because we have taken him home and he's doing well does not mean that he is okay. We will not know for at least a month if he is going to live through this or not. And here's the reason why. It is because he is on 7 medications, and he takes them twice a day. And these medications are making him feel great. They're helping him eat, helping him drink. and he is going to be weaned off the medication slowly. So we will not know until he is completely off the 30-day taper of steroids if he's okay or not. So now let me back up and tell you a little bit more. I don't want to make this video too lengthy, and I know I have shared on Instagram, Facebook, and my community page on Busy Lizzy's Budget, my YouTube channel. I know I've shared all the same information in all these spots, so I'm sure that you've already kind of got the beginning of the story, but he's been sick for 4 weeks now, and he was put on antibiotics, and he had an x-ray, and he had blood work and all kinds of stuff. And after 5 days on the antibiotics is when we realized he was not getting any better, and he was in fact getting worse. So my friend and neighbor Kendra, she said, you guys really probably need to take him back in to be seen. And our local vet had kind of exhausted all their capabilities because they don't have an ultrasound machine or things like that, which is what he needed at this point because they had already tried out everything else. So it was Saturday. So today's Friday. So it was 6 days ago. On Saturday, we took him to a huge animal hospital. It's a referral only hospital or emergency room, whatever. But we took him there, and they diagnosed him preliminarily at the beginning. When he first came in, they were sure he had pancreatitis, an acute onset of pancreatitis, and they thought he may have something else. They weren't sure what, but they were treating him for pancreatitis. They did an amazing job. I cannot talk about this hospital. I can't even explain to you how amazing they are. Worth every expensive cent, but nothing but good things to say about this hospital. Every single person, every single time we dealt with, everyone was phenomenal. We could call at any point and say, I'd like to speak with Ranger's doctor. They'd get the doctor right on the phone. It was just absolutely amazing. So anyway, he stayed in the hospital from Saturday until Wednesday when he picked him up at about $2,000 a night. It was very expensive, but he is part of the family, and we didn't anticipate him staying so long. And in fact, they said he didn't even have to stay at all, but they said if we didn't admit him, then chances are if we took him home, he wouldn't make it. So of course we admitted him, expecting just a couple days. Didn't know it would turn into 4, but that's okay. So anyway, they said he had the pancreatitis, and it got to the point where he just would not eat. So they gave him a feeding tube, and then at some point they decided the feeding tube was on a trickle, so they decided they would go ahead and stop the trickle, and so he wouldn't get anything through it for 4 hours, and then they would offer him food. And then only if he didn't eat himself, then they would go ahead and give him a feeding through the feeding tube. And then again, stop it, and then wait 4 hours, offer him food again, and so on. So even though Ranger was showing signs that he was getting closer to eating the food, which he's also a super picky eater, but he didn't end up eating on his own. So we couldn't keep him there forever. So anyway, they decided they were going to go ahead and, I forget which morning this was, but they decided they were going to go ahead and start him on steroids. And so they did that. And so he was on steroids, he was on pain medication, he was on opioid, then he was on a different pain medicine, he was on a probiotic, 2 appetite stimulants, and basically he was just on anything and everything. So he didn't start eating until a day before we picked him up. And he only ate a little bit, but it was still a promising sign. And basically what it all comes down to, and they wouldn't let him leave, or they didn't want him to leave until he started eating on his own. So he eventually did. But what really needs to happen is him to have a biopsy. So they said if we could keep him as an inpatient 2 more days, he could have a biopsy and they would know exactly what's wrong with him. So we were already at $10,000. And then they said they the biopsy would be about $6,000, and then an extra 2 nights would be another $4,000. So they said in order for him to have the biopsy, it was going to be an additional $10,000 on top of the $10,000 we had already spent. So it would be $20,000. And then if the biopsy showed cancer, then to do chemo would be another $5,000 to $10,000. So they asked if we would do that if we knew he had cancer, and we said no. We would rather him just not be in pain. So eventually they said, you know what, then it's really not worth doing the biopsy if there's nothing you do about it anyway. So what they decided to do is to treat him for what they believe he had. They believed that the pancreatitis was secondary to a larger issue. And so they thought he probably has inflammatory bowel disease. And the treatment for that would be for him to be on a very low dose of steroids for a long period of time, or as needed. I'm not really sure if it was for short term or long term. But anyway, so I said, well, since we're not going to do the biopsy, or we can't afford to do the biopsy, can we just give him that low dose of steroids and see if it helps? And he said, absolutely. And so that's when they went ahead and put him on the steroids. And when we first got there, things were not moving in his intestines. The food was just staying there, not moving along like it was supposed to. And that got better. So food was moving along. So things were looking pretty good. So anyway, we ended up taking him home. And because of all the medications and things, he's extremely thirsty. So he drinks a crazy amount of water. So he has to go to the bathroom pretty much every 20 minutes. So I'm basically his nurse 24/7. And this is probably going to go on for the 3 weeks that he's on the steroids, or the 30 days. See, I can't even, from not sleeping, I feel like I have a newborn again. So I can't even do the math right. But for about 30 days, he'll be on the steroids. And I will say I'm very thankful that that he did come home. He still is alive, and I am able to spend the time taking care of him. So anyway, with that being said, basically, here's the deal. He is doing absolutely amazing. He is super hungry. He's eating 4 meals a day. He's acting completely normal. He's up to his old shenanigans. So he's doing amazing. The question is, will he still be doing amazing after the steroids are done? So we don't know yet, but we also got a call from the doctor yesterday saying that his GI panel results came back, and there's a small chance that he has Addison's disease. Kind of funny because my daughter's name is Addison, but they don't think so, but there's a chance. So he needs to get tested for that. But he can't because he's on steroids, and steroids will skew the results, and it will give us a false positive. So the plan is, once he finishes the course of steroids, if he's acting fine, we wait 2 weeks, then we bring him back and they test him for Addison's disease. However, during those 2 weeks of him being off all the meds, if he starts to go downhill, they said take him to our local clinic immediately. So if he does have Addison's disease, or if he does have the inflammatory bowel disease, both treatments for that are steroids. Now, for Addison's disease, he would have to be on a very, very low dose of steroids for the rest of his life. So basically, it might be one of those two things, or a combination. Or if he has cancer, then he will go downhill very fast after the steroids. And at that point, if he tests negative for the Addison's and we put him on a very low dose of steroids for the inflammatory bowel disease, and he doesn't do well, then we know it's cancer, and we know that, his time is done, which would be extremely sad. But anyway, so I hope I explained that okay. It's really confusing to me, but that is basically what is going on with him. So, and it's really hard because he has 7 medications he has to take twice a day, and sometimes he's not interested in eating and consuming the pills. So it's been interesting, but we're so thankful we still have him and that he's just so much better. So that's the scoop on Ranger. And I just want to, again, just say thank you to friends, family, my fellow YouTubers, my YouTube subscribers, just everyone. I am just blown away at all the support and all the just all the messages, all the prayers, all the thoughts, the comments, the phone calls, the texts, the Instagram messages, the Facebook messages, just everything. I can't even tell you every single message we all read, and we feel like it's a big hug. So again, just can't thank you enough for every aspect of support, not just the financial support, although we super appreciate that, but we appreciate all aspects of the support. So with that being said, let's get to the second portion of this video where we talk about the financial aspect of it. And again, this was started by my friend Kim over at Star Budgets on YouTube, and she has an Etsy shop called Star Budgets 1, and she thought of it on her own to make a savings challenge for Ranger, to donate the proceeds to him to help us out, and it was just super thoughtful. I'm still blown away by it. And let me go ahead and bring back into the screen the things for this part of the video. Now, actually, let me cover it for now. I have some piles of money here, so you guys can count with me the different donations that we received. And I'll just say, for everyone who purchased something from Kim's shop, she made some savings challenges for Ranger. So if you purchased the savings challenge, whatever the cost of the savings challenge was, minus the fees Etsy takes, she is donating that amount to me. Now, the savings challenges are meant for people to use them to save up even more money for Ranger. But without even that, like, that's a future thing. And if people choose to do that, we'll be super grateful. But I'm not expecting anything. I wasn't expecting a cent from anyone. So let me just preface it by saying that. And before I go over all the people and just say a quick thank you to them who purchased a savings challenge from Kim, there are a couple other people I want to thank. So the first person I want to thank is my friend Danielle, and she and I still keep in touch. I met her in 7th grade. We have been friends since then, and she is just a beautiful person inside and out and a breath of fresh air. So she Venmo'd me money. She asked me if she could have my Venmo, and she wanted to send some money for Ranger. And I'm not saying her last name because even though I don't think she watches this or anyone would know who she is, I want to keep this private because she did not want the amount she gave to be told to people on Facebook anyway. So I'll go ahead and just count this out. So I'll just give her first name, and this is how much she donated via Venmo: 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85. Okay, you guys, that's for real. I still, to this day, cannot believe this is true. And she is such a generous person, and this is just so much money, and it will go so far. I tried to give it back. I told her I couldn't take this much, and she insisted that I take it and use it toward his bills. So huge thank you to Danielle. Huge thank you to all of you, but that is from my friend Danielle. So I'll move this down a little bit. The next person I want to thank is a friend of mine. Her name is Cindy Odell. She lives locally. I've known her since my son was born, since he was a baby. She is the biggest dog lover I've known in my entire life. And I think she just recently started watching my videos, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but it's possible that she loves her dogs more than her own children. No, I'm just kidding, but definitely as much. But she is just an amazing person, and she ended up PayPaling me money, and she sent it to my private or my personal PayPal so that a fee wouldn't be taken out. And here is how much she sent for Sweet Little Ranger. So 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82. Again, you guys, I can't even believe this is for real. I never expected a cent. I thought we'd be paying this on our own, and no words. So thank you, Cindy. And then the next person, I hope it's okay to say their name, but this is a subscriber of mine, and she sent money to my YouTube PayPal, the Busy Lizzy's Budget PayPal. She found it in the description box and sent it. Her name is Elba Medeiros, if I pronounce that correctly, and she sent $10 to the Busy Lizzy's Budget PayPal. So that was so sweet. Elba, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is go through and thank all of the people who bought Kim's challenges. She called them Relief for Ranger, and from her Etsy site. And I'm going to go through and I want to read these names. And I just want to say, if you see your name and it's spelled incorrectly, or I pronounce it incorrectly, I apologize. Kim sent me a list of everyone who placed an order for Ranger's challenges, or who chose her Etsy listing that says just straight donation. She had, I think, $1, $5, and $10, and some people just did that. So I just want to say there were a few people that she hasn't heard back from, so I want to thank them anyway. I'm not sure if they wanted their name mentioned or not, but there's no amounts attached, so I'm just gonna thank them, because I wouldn't want to not thank them if they wanted to be thanked publicly, if that makes sense. So anyway, the people that donated toward or bought savings challenges for Ranger off of Kim's Etsy shop are Nicole Thomas. And there's a question mark if she didn't hear back from them, if it was okay to say their name. But Nicole's I'm sure she won't mind. She's one of my subscribers, and she comments on every video. She's amazing. So I'm just going to read down the names. Nicole Thomas. Then there was an anonymous donation or purchase. Susan Mittman, Essence Cardoza, Rhonda Nelson, Amanda Smith, MJ Cole, Antoinette Alberga, another anonymous, Christy Williams, Trina Fitzpatrick, Jenny Brendan, Sandra Everett, Trina from Budget by Number on Etsy, Stacy Smith, Lindsay Swanson, Budget with Mama Bear, Mama T, that's my girl Janessa, Sonia Barnes, Jennifer Mullins, Nikki Makey, Michelle Diaz, Lindsay from Boy Mom Loves to Save. Go check out her YouTube channel. Laritha Bobo, Dominica Orioles, Tanya from Tanya's Budget and Chaotic Life. She has an awesome YouTube channel and Etsy shop. Stephanie Burnham, who is my friend Stephanie we've talked about in my videos. Denise from D versus Debt. Go check her out. And the people with a YouTube channel, I will link them in the description box, so you can just easily click on their channel. And if they have an Etsy shop, that will be linked also, so you can just click on it and check them out. Element of Grace. And that is the last one. So you guys, when I went and just typed these up, 29 people who are YouTubers or subscribers to my channel donated by buying one of the challenges. And I can't even tell you, that seriously flabbergasts me, blows my mind. You guys are the sweetest. You guys are the ones that encouraged me, and you guys are the ones that keep me going on my financial journey. I don't know what I would do without you all. And so these 29 people collectively, just from buying a challenge, the price of the challenge, like I said, or the donation minus the Etsy fees, came to a total of, and let's go ahead and count, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, $202. And you guys, that's a total, of $202, like I said. And altogether, all of the donations came to, let's see, let me put it up there, $912. You guys, thank you so, so much from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of all of our hearts in my family, from the bottom of Ranger's heart. Thank you so, so much. And I know that a ton of you have also made purchases on Kim's shop after the first week. That was just the first week. We're almost at the end of the second week, but I'm doing these videos 1 week at a time. So just for week 1, $912 was sent our way toward our $10,000 bill for Ranger. So you guys, I could sit here all day and thank you, but that'd probably be really annoying. So instead, I'm just going to say it one more time. Thank you so much. If you were able to financially contribute, and you did, if you said prayers for us, if you sent us a kind message, if you just had kind thoughts for us, whatever you did, you guys, you all mean so much to me. And I seriously, I'm so humbled, so grateful, so appreciative. I just can't even. Oh, I was about to end the video and I forgot to fill in the tracker. That's the fun part. Okay, so you guys, we have to fill this out. So for this video, I don't have any money to put in. I will for the next video or before then, but I had picked out a marker I wanted to use and it's gone, of course, but yep, it's gone. All right, give me a second to find it. Okay, so because these are all 100 and you guys have donated 900 and was it $2 or $22? $912. Okay, so that means we get to color in 9 of these bones. So that is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and try to color these in very nicely. I'm going to color in 9 of these, and you can go ahead and watch while I do that if you'd like. Okay, you guys, that looks awesome. I'm so excited. And in the next video, we will have week 2's, the money that's been donated, because I know there has already been some. So we'll be able to fill out a little bit more. And next video, I will also be contributing every cent that I get back from my tax refund. And then I will just keep doing these videos as long as we still have money coming in. If not, I will just fill out my portion of this. I'll keep filling this out in other videos that I do. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. And if you enjoyed my video, I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel and become part of my YouTube family. But thank you so much. Even just by watching my video, you help out my channel. And if you watch the ads, I get a few pennies here and there. And I just appreciate you all so much. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thanks again. Bye.